Hello everyone, welcome back. And I'm back home after my short brief holidays. But yeah, they were nice, quite short. I need some more of those during the summer, I guess. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on this matchup. I arrived home at like a couple of hours ago, and I was sitting down to take a look at what's going on the Starcraft 2 world to see if there was any nice replays available, and I actually find a bunch of them, some really cool ones. So I'm gonna start with this one, share it with all of you, and hopefully it's gonna be a nice battle. It involves two very high-profile members of the community. One of them has been rising in popularity for quite a while now. The other one is a veteran, a pro gamer since the days of BroodWar. And well, we're gonna have a clash between this blue Zerg spawning on this top left corner of Shakura's plateau. It's vileSpanshwa, member of Team Vile Gaming. As you guys know, he's such a creative Zerg player, and he's been rising in popularity like I mentioned before. He's been showing us some new strategies, ways of reacting and responding to some of the biggest troubles that Zerg were having facing other Zerg, Protoss and Terran, and he deserves a bit of attention. The problem for me is I need to see him facing some of the top gamers, and also see him facing some of those top gamers on a high pressure environment, meaning some big tournaments. For example, I would like to see him battling on the next MLG. I think it would be pretty cool. But on this case, we have one of those examples where he faces against one of the high-profile members of the StarCraft 2 community. In my opinion, one of the finest Protoss players playing on the North American side, and it's LiquidTyler, as you guys can see, the red Protoss spawning here on the southeast position on Shakura's plateau. LiquidTyler, member of Team Liquid, BroodWar veteran, one of the few foreigners that went to try his luck and play BroodWar in Korea. Not easy, so much respect for Tyler. And well, he's been one of the solid Protoss gamers on the North American servers, played frequently on the tournament scene, so I think he's going to be a worthy opponent for Spanishiwa, and a way of Spanishiwa showing if he's solid enough to handle these big high-profile gamers. Because he needs to. I mean, if he wants to rise to the next level, I think it's time for him to start picking up some of these big battles with some of the huge monsters playing StarCraft 2 currently. As you guys know, he played the best out of 7 against TLO not long ago, and it was a very interesting series to follow. I would recommend you guys to take a look at it if you didn't. But I need more. I need to see him facing other players. As you guys know, I already casted matchups with Spanishiwa facing against TT1 and Kiwikaki, and I think that's the way to go. I mean, I'm not interested on casting games where Spanishiwa does some really crazy stuff, but against players that, well, I don't consider them high profile. I don't think that's the best way to go. I want to see him evolve and grow, so he needs to have some sturdy, solid opponents to face against him. On this situation, LiquidTyler, I think it's good enough. It matches the description, and hopefully it's going to be a nice battle here. Now, following this matchup and seeing what the players are doing exactly at the moment, as you can see, we have on Spanishiwa's side, he went for spawning pool first, grabbed his gas, and now going for some fast roach warren. So he's getting plenty of defenses, getting his one base play rolling, now grabbing his hatchery, while here on LiquidTyler's side, as you guys could see, he stretched his game towards his natural expo into a 2-base play fairly early, now putting his nexus down and trying to get some kind of wall off. But keep in mind that this is already on the new patch 133, meaning that the warp gate tech timing is kind of different. It just messes up with all the timings for the Protoss player, and at the moment you have Protoss players try to evolve as fast as possible and adapt themselves to the new situation that they have to play Protoss in. Based on that, we might be seeing Tyler not going for warp gate tech that early. Notice that he's just getting his cyber core now. He was going for 2 double gateways to open, try to apply a bit of pressure on his opponent, and then got a forge and is getting a lot of photon cannons on the back of that gateway. He has a pretty sturdy wall here, though he still has kind of a bit of a gap there, but it's quite an interesting defense that he has here. While we have Spanishiwa advancing with the first forces, a batch of roaches trying to start poking around at this gateway, providing visibility is this overlord here, allowing the roaches to just spew all of that acidic saliva into that gateway, and this is going to be a blow onto LiquidTyler's plans. Obviously, he needs his gateways to put out some units, and he's going to lose one pretty soon, I'm assuming. He's trying to chrono boost a Stalker out of the other gateway to start poking at these roaches, but there it is, boom! Down with the gateway, and now he has one single gateway there on the Natural Expo. Cybercore and Forge, so playing out of a single gate, this might be troublesome. While on Spanishiwa's side, he's just trying to get his macro game rolling. He applied the pressure there, he has Tyler kind of contained at the moment, and at the same time he's getting Evo Chambers on the back and getting his 2 base play rolling. Where is his drones? As you can see, he's making 8 more, so he's just committing himself to some big heavy macro play, getting as many workers as possible on those mineral lines, so he can just benefit from the income, while he leaves Tyler just hanging here. Keep in mind that Tyler is just doing his thing as well. Though he lost the gateway, he's been working on his drone count, trying to get as close to saturated as possible, and at the same time building more on his main base. And ooh, interesting here, double Stargate incoming for Tyler, so he's not very concerned with the loss of the gateway, and he's gonna go straight into plenty of airplay, I'm assuming. Meanwhile, here on Spanishiwa's side, as you can see, pulled back with his forces. He's not actually containing Tyler anymore, though he has map control. He has both Xel'Naga watchtowers controlled by those little Zerglings there, while he sends just a small group of Zerglings to make notice of when Tyler pushes out of his bases. And meanwhile, inside Tyler's side, for now there's not much going on. He's getting the first Phoenixes out, as you can see, while this Stalker tries to flank all the way south, just making sure that Spanishiwa still didn't went for his 3rd. And inside his base, we already have both Stargates getting chrono boosted and getting as many Phoenixes out as possible. So you're gonna have a big Phoenix force try to advance here. Beautiful play here by Spanishiwa. Notice how he blocked the path on the ramp with that Queen on the last second. So awesome movement there, containing the movement from that Stalker and not allowing Tyler to get into his main base and check out what's going on, what's happening inside the main base. Double Evo Chamber, as you can see, also getting the lair tech on his Natural Expo. So nice answer to that airplay that Tyler is preparing. There's already Spore Crawlers getting ready there, and probably going to have other ways of getting a nice air defense against this Phoenix play from Tyler. Since he's going to get his lair tech, he can decide to go for other kind of air units to counter it. It's an option. Corruptors are a solution, especially as you can see here, we have already the robotics facility getting ready by Tyler, and that means that he might be getting some observers first, but we might be see some Colossi play. So Corruptors would be helpful against both the Colossi and the Phoenix, so it would be a nice nice unit to have on your unit composition as a Zerg. But let's wait and see if that's the way that things are heading for Spanishiwa. For now we have Tyler just shooting down that Queen, trying to put it down. He needs to be careful, there's a Spore Crawler there poking at his flying units, and now he's just running away. While that Spore Crawler, there's already a second one getting established on that base, and we have the Phoenixes just stacking up and try to fly around the bases from Spanishiwa. I think that it would be a nice option to go for Overlord hunting, but probably go on those mineral lines and kill as many workers as possible. As you can see, Spanishiwa meanwhile is almost finishing his hatchery on his 3rd, so meaning he's going to be playing out of 3 bases pretty soon, and you're going to have Tyler spotting exactly that. Here he comes, spotting that 3rd base, and he's going to try to interrupt the works being done on this 3rd base, killing all of the workers. Nice move here by Tyler, not allowing his opponent to start playing out of 3 bases, because basically at the moment he's on 2 bases. I don't think he has any plans to expand anytime soon. Notice that the Overseer just passed there and spotted the robotics facility, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, almost got shot, but still close, still has HP. He has the robotics facility there and has on this corner the robotics bay, meaning that he is going for Colossus. How much did Spanishiwa spotted from this build? Let us take a look. Oh yeah, he spotted both. He knows that Tyler is going for that Colossus play, and it's time for him to answer back, I would say. He needs to get some proper counters. Corruptors could be a solution. He does have the Spire there and getting some Corruptors out, but at the same time, he's getting here on the back an Infestation Pit. Might be for him to transition into the final layer of tech as Zerg to get his Hive tech rolling, or he might even get some infestors out. They're so effective, and as you can see on the army count, let's take a look. For now we have 96 against 90, and on the unit composition, 9 Zealots, 9 Phoenixes, so there's not much of an army for Tyler. There's plenty of airplay involved here, and the Phoenixes require a lot of micro. They're very effective, yes, if properly microed, but as you can see, 9 Stalkers and 8 Phoenixes might not be the perfect composition, especially facing Corruptors, which are coming down from Spanishiwa. There's already Roaches and Zerglings, but not by much. There's not a big count. On the income, let's take a look. Well, we have Spanishiwa leading the charge for now. He's actually a little bit ahead, but not that much. Worker count 58 against 61 is still balanced, but we do see Spanishiwa going for a very solid macro mode here, grabbing his 4th base while pooping creep here with the Overlord on what's supposed to be the 3rd from Tyler, and Tyler is grabbing his 3rd. I'm sorry, here it's supposed to be his 4th. Now the Overlord finally got killed, and we have a small advance here with a lot of Zerglings, but there's not enough, not even close. I mean, he can try to harass and try to intercept some units, but that's going to be basically it, especially now with the Colossus out. He's going to be able to roast all of these Zerglings so quickly. Inside the bases from Tyler, taking a look here, there's already 2 Colossus there, plenty of gateways as you can see, so he's going to get ready to pump out a lot of units soon enough. He's playing out of 3 bases, might be more than enough economy for him to put out a solid unit, a solid number of Colossus to back up his army, while we have Infestors coming out on Spanishiwa side, and 10 Corruptors. Whoa, that is a lot of Corruptors. I'm not sure if he's not committing way too much resources to get that count of Corruptors out, but he might be planning ahead, because as you guys can see, there's already the Hive Tech, and we might be seeing some Broodlords later on. For now, he's just getting a lot of Corruptors out. Yes, they will be able to counter the Phoenixes and the Colossi, but apparently the unit composition from Tyler now is getting backed up by plenty of Stalkers, and they're getting Blink. So this Blink is going to be so nasty against those Corruptors, and here they are. The Corruptors are trying to fly and get a nice flank. Huge fungal growth there, holding on those Phoenixes, with the Corruptors trying to kill as much as possible of this Phoenix force, but they're just on top of those Stalkers and the Colossus, and there's so many targets for them to choose. I don't think there's enough DPS there for them to kill everything. There's so many units trying to shoot down those Corruptors. Huge Blink on top of that hill, and with Tyler finishing off that Corruptor force and killing off the air force that Spanishiwa was assembling. Now Spanishiwa is trying to get more Corruptors out, also getting his Greatest Spire, while we assist here on LiquidTyler pushing into his opponent's base. Notice that at the same time you have Spanishiwa countering his opponent, trying to make a counter-attack into his bases with a big wave of Zerglings, but you have a massive force here with a lot of Stalkers backed up by Colossi, melting away the Hive Tech from Spanishiwa, and if he loses this, this might be the final blow and the coup de grace against Spanishiwa, with Tyler just wreaking havoc into his natural expo. Keep in mind that Spanishiwa still has more bases, but his assault is getting slowly thwarted. His counter-attack on the bases from Tyler is getting slowly thwarted, and there's not much left of it, while Spanishiwa desperately tries to get some Broodlords out, but it wasn't even close. We have a beautiful push here by Tyler with a massive unit composition, just crushing Spanishiwa, and Spanishiwa just stating the obvious, being polite as he always is, saying GG sir, but it was just too much of a force for Spanishiwa to face on this situation here, and he ended up getting smashed by his opponent, by LiquidTyler, with Tyler having a powerful move here. Keep in mind that he kept those Stalkers on the back for a long time. He made a lot of warp gates and then just warped in a bunch of them on the final stages, all of them with Blink, and they were just a brilliant counter against that Corruptor play, with Spanishiwa not having any way of answering back to that kind of aggression. Okay, so it's game done. As you guys can see, we have Tyler taking the win here over Spanishiwa. I'm pretty sure that Spanishiwa took some lessons from this match, and he's gonna try to evolve his game to the next level so he can face opponents of this caliber. We already seen him playing against T21 and Kiwikaki on casts that I did in the past, and he did quite good, so I think he has what it takes to face Tyler and even more solid and more aggressive players. Hopefully in the future you're gonna see more of him. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. See you all later. Have fun.